Hey everybody, I'm here with Zach, and just a couple quick updates for Contender Esports this month or this week. Zach, we've had some exciting things. Probably the biggest thing is we rolled out all of our summer camp programming to all of our franchise locations. A lot of people don't know, but we offer really solid STEM-based and esports gaming-based summer camps for kids throughout the summer in all of our cities.
I think it's exciting too, because when people have the perspective about us, they see the physical location and say they don't do anything outside those walls. They just only focus on inside that. But we offer so much more where we can actually go to the specific place that either it be Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA, or something like that, to offer outside activities that we offer.
And that is part of our franchise. So if someone becomes a franchisee, you get the opportunity to do these kind of things. Zach, I know you had a very specific question for me today.
Yeah, and I do get a lot of questions and a lot of different kind of responses. I think curious aspect about one of them is what makes not a good candidate for Contender Esports? Because we get a lot of applications that want to be the best candidate, but then one person asked me, what should I not do if I don't want to be, or if I want to be a Contender Esports owner?
Yeah, like the thing that would kind of disqualify you.
Yep.
Yeah. So I wrote down four things here.
Okay.
Is that okay, Zach?
Yeah,
so
go for it.
One thing is I wrote down people who think that getting a franchise means that everything is done for them. That is really a huge mistake that people, when they get into a franchise, they assume I'm going to buy the franchise and then basically 100% of everything is going to be done. That's not really true, is it?
No, and I would kind of go to the fact that we still do provide, we still do offer a lot of stuff, but what do you mean by it's not done for them?
Yeah, so we provide the systems, the operation, all the resources, things like that. I liken it oftentimes to Home Depot, that we are Home Depot. We've got everything that someone needs to have a successful franchise, but the one thing we won't do is we won't build the shed for them. You got to build the shed, right? Yeah, so another thing I have written down here is a person who's not really a good candidate for franchising is someone that isn't good at executing details. Details are really important.
Well, yeah, go a little bit more in depth with that. Go a little bit more detailed with that.
Yeah, so I mean, execute on details means that someone, they have a list of things to do. They can follow those steps. They go through the system and the structure. I mean, when people buy a franchise, they're buying a system, right?
A process.
And if you're a person that is not really good at following systems and structures, I would suggest franchising is not for you. In any franchise, not just with us, but really with anybody. So next one is someone who needs convincing to open this business. That's my biggest pet peeve.
Okay, that's a odd one. I feel like that wouldn't be a normal franchising one. Why? If someone needs convincing, why would that be bad to go into a franchise company or Contender Esports?
So someone that needs convincing, the thing that I've shared with people is if I have to convince you of this business now in order to sell it to you, then the unfortunate thing is I'll have to do that forever. And we don't want to do that, Zach.
That makes sense.
People need to know in their hearts that they have the abilities and the skill sets and the power to run their own business.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I do think it's a critical point, because if you don't believe in what you're doing, then you're not going to do it to the fullest potential that you could potentially do. So you have to really be already in that mindset to actually run the business rather than having someone come along and convince you to do it.
Last red flag, and this is my fourth one. Anytime we're talking with somebody and they say the reason why I want to do a franchise in the esports business is because I want to own the business, but I want my son to have a job and manage the business. Huge red flag for us.
And why would that be a red flag?
It's a red flag because, and I will say I've done franchising for a long time. We've tried this, but what happens is there becomes a difficult point if for some reason your son doesn't do a good job. Then what we have to do is then go to the owner and say, well, I know this is going to be kind of hard, but your son is not good at this job, and so you need to replace them with somebody else to manage the location. So we generally say, if you come to us and that is your plan, we'll listen to it, but we do have a time period where we will not let your children manage a location.
I feel like that would be an awkward conversation too, just to say, hey, he can't work here or she can't work in that location anymore.
So what we do is we say you can be an employee, your children can be employees, but in terms of managing a location, there's a time period where we just don't allow that. So those are 4 red flags, Zach. We just want to help people when they're looking at franchise with us to know There's some people that this is a fit for and some people it's not a fit for. And if any of these things that I've mentioned really fits with you and you think like, oh man, I wouldn't be good for that, we're going to be the first ones to tell you this isn't a fit, because we're not trying to sell these things to people who aren't going to be successful.
No, and I think that what it leads into, what is a good candidate, and it really is someone that is a doer and someone that believes in this actual industry of growing and potentially becoming that next entertainment business.